everybody. It's time for the children's sermon. So glad you're here. So glad you came back. I was just reading the Jesus Storybook Bible, and I was looking at the very first story in this Bible. It's called The Story and the Song. And now here's the weird thing about this story. It's not actually a story you might find in the normal Bible. The beginning of a normal Bible is all about God creating the heavens and the earth, a story that we did over the summer. But this first one that they have talks about the ways that the Bible stories are important. Why are these stories important? What is God trying to communicate to us with all the stories of the Bible? So I wanted to read it this week. Here's the interesting thing. It is still based on parts of the Bible. It says here, based on readings from Psalm 19 and Hebrews 1. So there are places in the Bible where you could find something like this. But the story that we're going to read today is just going to be a little different. It's an introduction to why stories are important. So let's listen to it right now, shall we? We're going to listen to the story about the story. This one's called The Story and the Song. My goodness, we're saying story a lot. And then I got a little something special for you, and then we'll get back here to talk about all of it. Does that sound good? All right, here we go with the story and the song. The heavens are singing about how great God is, and the skies are shouting it out. See what God has made. Day after day, night after night, they are speaking to us. Psalm 19, 1 through 2. God wrote, I love you. God wrote it in the sky and on the earth and under the sea. God wrote his message everywhere because God created everything in his world to reflect him like a mirror, to show us what God is like, to help us know God, to make our hearts sing. The way a kitten chases her tail, the way red poppies grow wild, the way a dolphin swims. And God put it into words, too, and wrote it in a book called the Bible. Now, some people think the Bible is a book of rules, telling you what you should and shouldn't do. The Bible certainly does have some rules in it. They show you how life works best. But the Bible isn't mainly about you and what you should be doing. It's about God and what God has done. Other people think the Bible is a book of heroes, showing you people you should copy. The Bible does have some heroes in it, but as you'll soon find out, most of the people in the Bible aren't heroes at all. They make some big mistakes, sometimes on purpose. They get afraid and run away. At times, they're downright mean. No, the Bible isn't a book of rules or a book of heroes. The Bible is most of all a story. It's an adventure story about a young hero who comes from a faraway country to win back his lost treasure. It's a love story about a brave prince who leaves his palace, his throne, everything to rescue the one he loves. It's like the most wonderful of fairy tales that has come true in real life. You see, the best thing about this story is it's true. There are lots of stories in the Bible, but all the stories are telling one big story, the story of how God loves his children and comes to rescue them. It takes the whole Bible to tell this story. And at the center of the story, there's a baby. Every story in the Bible whispers his name. He's like the missing piece in a puzzle, the piece that makes all the other pieces fit together, and suddenly you can see a beautiful picture. And this is no ordinary baby. This is the child upon whom everything would depend. This is the child who would one day... But wait, our story starts where all good stories start. Right at the very beginning. Hey, look! It's a Denver Public Library page. They have so many books there. I miss going to the library. But you know what? I can still get all sorts of stories on my phone and on my Kindle. That's right. You can download ebooks and audiobooks. I do that all the time. Love the public library. Okay, look over here. Oh my goodness. These are all the sermons I've written. There's so many stories in here and other things too, right? All these, look at that, sermons galore, sermons for days. They're filled with stories. Stories from the Bible. Stories that I like to tell to make a funny point during my sermon. Stories that embarrass my kids. So many stories. Here's the thing. it's not just books and words that tell stories. Pictures can tell a story too. This picture is of the day that I was ordained. Ordained means the day I became a pastor, officially. Look, there I am. Don't I look younger and more well-rested? Yeah, I was. And look at all the other people who are there. There's my friends, Scott and Sean. There's my dad. He was there. There's my friend Steve. There's my mentor Tim and Neil. Oh my gosh, that's Pastor Gary. He was there too. You see, it tells a story. There's a story just from a picture. Oh, this is a strange part of my bookshelf. What are these? Oh my gosh. These are all my old journals. There's so many of them. Wow, that's like the story of the last decade of my life. Look at all that writing. There's probably all sorts of funny stories in there. Check it out. Look what finally came in the mail. Oh, it's upside down. My Colorado driver's license. Here's the funny thing about a license. You can learn a lot about a person just by what's on here. My name, Preisinger, Nathaniel David. What? Did you know my middle name was David? There you go. Look, here's a funny picture where they said, don't smile. That was hard for me. Oh, my address is on here. I live in Denver, it says. That's cool. I'm 6 feet tall. I have blue eyes. I have brown hair. It's all right there. My birthday, November 4th, 1985. That's coming up. Good idea to buy me a present. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, even my driver's license tells a story. Stories are everywhere. Welcome back. Stories are everywhere. That's the point that I was really trying to make. Pictures can tell a story. Driver's license can tell a story. People write books. There's places where you can pick up stories all the time. And what the Jesus Storybook Bible told us is that God is telling us a story all the time. There's all these great stories from the Bible that we've been going through together for weeks now. And those stories tell us about God and what God hopes for the world and what God hopes for us. But it's even better than that. Part of the truth is that the Bible was written for us so that we could have all these stories. But the Bible's written about us too. We're the continuation of these stories. The next story of the Jesus Storybook Bible is being written right now by you and the ways that you are living out your faith today. Isn't that amazing? I love that idea. I think it's so beautiful and powerful that we get to continue writing the Bible stories ourselves in the ways that we follow Jesus right now in 2020. So that's why we're always talking about putting our faith into practice at the end of these silly little videos that I make. Because by putting our faith into practice, we're continuing the story. The story continues with us. So here's your homework for this week. Practice telling a story. Right? As I showed you my little funny skit, stories are everywhere and they take all sorts of different forms. So figure out a story that you want to tell and share. Doesn't have to be a Bible story, although that would be pretty cool. But just practice telling a story. There's something powerful and exciting about the ways that we connect with other people when we share stories from our life. And now here's why you're going to do that. Because on Sunday, October 25th, we're going to have a big celebration called Super Story Day. That's right, Super Story Day. And you're going to have the chance, if you want to stand up on stage and to share your story that you practiced with a whole bunch of people. Won't that be fun? I'm going to practice my story. I've got a really good one about when I was 15 years old and I went on a bike ride with my friends, Jeff and Cole, and we found this hidden... Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. You'll just have to come on October 25th to Super Story Day. But anyways, that's your homework. Let the story of Jesus continue in your life today. And yeah, practice a story so that you can tell it and share it with your church friends. I'm Pastor Nate. This has been the Children's Sermon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.